You're watching Palms Up TV. I'm Perry Red. This is Socially Speaking. In this segment of the show, we share with you how those in the working class are not served well when justice fails. This is our Failed Justice segment. So today, in our Failed Justice segment, our features will cover COVID news, the status of the stimulus relief package in Congress, and race and law enforcement. So let's start off with, here you see what's new is the mayor has lifted the ban on indoor dining. Ask yourself this. Why is that so very important to eat in a restaurant? People are dying. So I've got to ask you, is it really injustice when you can't go and eat in someone else's diner? We are also faced with not having enough vaccines in the district to meet demand. And the mayor admitted that. And I understand that the problem was definitely at the federal level, thanks to your weasel who's gone on home, so-called former president. We have a 5% positivity rate right now in the district, and there's a plan to prioritize child care providers and overweight individuals with a body mass index of 25%. And that's pretty much anybody who's not as skinny as I am. There's also, with our new President Biden, the executive order to extend the eviction ban. And he's looking at March, and I've heard September. Well, as far as the numbers go, we've had 25.3 million COVID cases. We've had 421,000 deaths from COVID. Right here in the district, we're talking about 879 of those happened right here in the district. And of the 25 million cases, 35,505 have been right here in the district. COVID's serious, and I'm hoping you take it serious. Washing your hands, masking up, and of course, social distancing. You know, I'm a big fan of social distancing. You stay away from it. Give me 6 feet. So now, I want to talk about what Congress is doing when it comes to the stimulus plan and the relief package that's set to come out, hopefully, this week. Right now, Congress plans to take steps toward quickly passing President Joe Biden's coronavirus aid proposals. And this includes the third wave of direct relief payments to most Americans. This is important to the working class. I know it's important to me. Now, the next batch of stimulus checks would be $1,400. And to top off the $600 payments that started going out in late December. People have been asking questions. So Democrats and the former president, Trump, had wanted to provide $2,000 in that round. That's what he said. Well, Republicans thwarted that effort, and they were leading the Senate at that time. So since then, there's been a change, and the Democrats now control the Senate, but by a razor-thin margin, 50-50 actually, with the vice president casting a tie vote. Now, there's This scene right here is out of Tacoma, Washington. Unbelievable. An officer called to the scene to break up a street gathering of drag racing or whatever young people do, because I never did this, and this was amazing to me. But when this white officer got surrounded by folks, and I'm just going to say folks, watch what his response is. Here's a story from ABC News.
He had tire marks all over his body, belly out. His shoes were off. It was like something out of a movie.
Tonight, that man still in the hospital. Police say they were trying to clear a downtown intersection Saturday night. As many as 100 people watching what they called a street sideshow.
I mean, that's a real SMH. All right. I mean, I'm twisted. So here's the question. One, if you were that officer, what would your response have been? Two, what made him think that he could quell a crowd by putting himself in that position? And three, here's the question of the hour. What's going to happen with that officer? Is he currently on leave? Is he on leave with pay? Has he been suspended? Has he violated any policies? Well, in future segments of Failed Justice, we'll be broaching those same questions. Right here in D.C., we've got an issue with a policy that was broken by an officer involving a young man right here in the district, Karan Hilton. And I've been intimately involved in that case, and we're going to share more with you in future segments of Failed Justice. So now I want to talk about a study done by a young black woman, Cheryl Thompson, with NPR News. And she seems to be one who's in love with her job, statistics. And she's also in love with her people. She found it reasonable and necessary to conduct this study, this statistical analysis of the number of black people who were shot by police, unarmed black people who were shot by police. During that period, 135 shootings she found. She also found that 15 of those officers who shot an unarmed black person were repeat shooters. Some as many as 5. Also, she found that 80 of those cases, 80 of the 135, ended with no charges. Is that surprising to you? Listen, 25% were done in traffic stops. 18% were mental health cases. She found that 19% of the officers involved in these shootings were rookies. I'm not surprised. 13 of the officers were charged with murder, and only 2 of them were found guilty. Another thing she found that I think will be not surprising to you, but 75% of the officers that shot unarmed black folks were white. So that goes to say that not all white officers shoot black folks who are unarmed. But 75%, 3/4, is a pretty heavy number. And the fact that only 2 were found guilty says to me that justice is failing. And that's what failed justice looks like. I want to thank you for joining us on this segment of Socially Speaking's Failed Justice. Yes, Palms Up TV is worth your time, and we want you to contribute and contribute from your heart. Contribute graciously. If you want to reach me, you can do Email me at sincere7@hotmail.com or go to our website at sincere7.org. Or you can tweet with me at Social Speaks. I want to thank you again for joining us on Socially Speaking segment of Failed Justice. Back to you in the studio, Ron.